missing you, but I won't. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive. If you hadn't run away every time I asked you stay, you would sleep right next to me tonight. No, you didn't know me. All you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had no way.
Oh man. Hey, everybody. Welcome into Virtual Tour Live. Braylon leaves Virtual Tour Live. Man, I love that intro. I love that song, and I love all of you. Hello. Thank you all for being here. Oh man, did y'all see that breaking news early in the day about Ryan Seacrest taking over Wheel of Fortune? Child, if you didn't see it, don't worry. I got my first ever virtual tour pit stop video on that. I give my take there. Not to mention Maurice. I gotta talk about you, bruh. So look out for another virtual tour pit stop video there. Hello to the two people here. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all, technology is a trip. I promise you it is. But it is all good. We are going to get everything sold here all in time. So you guys know how we do. Top 5 stories of the day, and then I will bring you guys up. So, I wanted to do something a little different here with this one. I wanted to bring up some businesses that you guys may not know about, actually. So these 2 stories come from rollingout.com. Melissa Butler helps women feel good through her beauty brand, The Lip Bar. Melissa Butler is a Detroit native and alumna of Florida A&M University, and the CEO and founder of the cosmetic brands The Lip Bar and Thread Beauty. Through her company, she helps women by encouraging them to look and feel her best. In 2015, Butler appeared on Shark Tank pitching her vegan lipstick brand. Yet it was denied by each judge or shark. Since her Shark Tank rejection, she has gone on to build a beauty empire with products being found nationally in big box stores such as Target, Walmart, Ulta Beauty, and more. So check this out, y'all. She has 2 brands. The Lip Bar is 11 years old. She started that company making lipstick in her kitchen while working on Wall Street. I always tell people it's not that I'm a beauty girl, but because I'm a self-esteem girl. I understood very quickly at a young age that if you feel good, you'll be able to do good in the world. If you don't have the confidence, it's going to be very hard for you to make the moves in your life. The second brand is called Thread Beauty. It's young, it's fun, it's super Gen Z, it's affordable. Every single thing is $8. With the Lip Bar, everything is like $14 or $15. So I wanted to mention this person because I feel that a lot of times in our culture, we do not support the people that understand our beauty. And I think Black women are probably some of the most beautiful women in the world, if I do say so myself. But also, too, I feel that we need more of us in places that we are not expected to be at. I really do mean that. I thought about my mom and my sister and the women in my life. And I've always come to recognize, hey, Melody MC, good to see you. I've always come to recognize that, women, the reason why women do so much is because society puts these unnecessary things on them to say, hey, you gotta look this way, hey, you gotta walk this way, hey, you gotta talk this way. And I think a lot of times in that same token, we put so much pressure on these big brands to care about a beauty standard that they haven't even taken the time to have a focus on. So I wanted to mention that story. Not to mention, too, with everything going on in the world, we do need some positivity. So Melissa Butler has the Lip Bar, and also she has, sorry, y'all, and she has Thread Beauty. And this is what she said. And this was in an interview. She said, if you could go back and give yourself younger advice, what would you say? If I could go back, I would probably tell my younger self that's okay to have big legs. I would try to pour myself into every single thing that I didn't like about myself, whether it was like my big legs or the gap I used to have. Although I ended up getting braces later in life, it's okay, Melissa. At the end of the day, these looks don't matter. On top of that, you are a pretty girl. Don't sweat the small stuff. So, shout out to her for having those things there. Now, this next one I thought was kind of interesting too. TJ Bennett is the CEO of Soul, SOLE Play, which is a fashion gaming store. Bennett's mission is to bring the community together through fashion and gaming. It has locations in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and Decatur, Georgia. So basically, it's a community impact store. We utilize and leverage some of our influence and brand partnerships to impact the community. We, the culture in itself, have a deep love for fashion and sneakers, and again, we leverage that to find different ways to impact the community from that hype, that energy, that connection. Um, and so, what made you implement gaming? Um, One would be the experience. You don't want to have a transactional relationship with consumers and supporters. You want to find ways to actually get them out the house so they can have a good time as they shop. The gaming industry is projected to be a $300+ billion industry by 2025. Black people are the number one contributors to that. However, when you look at the positions available within the gaming space, we only occupy 2% of those positions. So that is pretty cool. So Soul Play, SOLE Play, is in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and Decatur, Georgia. Let me tell you something. I mean, it's true. I mean, you think of Nintendo. Yes, I watch SMG4, y'all. I watch SMG4. When you think of Xbox, PlayStation, PC, whatever it is, gaming has a way of bringing everybody together. Well, guess what? Where if you're playing Mario Kart or you are playing Halo, everybody can be somebody in the world of gaming. And I'm on the website now, and it looks like for a birthday party, it's $300. Includes 2 hours of games, up to 6 gamers. So shout out to him. I think that is amazing, and hopefully more locations will pop up for sure. So this next story here from Variety here. And by the way, I do want to thank y'all because I woke up and I saw like 132 views. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that. I do see the growth, and it is happening inch by inch. Everything is a cinch, and one step at a time. So I do appreciate the love, everybody. I really, really do. So as y'all know, P. Diddy, he is into many things, but Diago cuts ties with Sean Diddy Combs after dispute over vodka tequila venture. Liquor John Diago PLC says it was severing ties with entrepreneur Sean Diddy Combs after the celebrity filed a suit alleging Diago had not supported joint ventures involving Ciroc, vodka, and De Leon tequila. Combs sued Diago in late May in the New York Supreme Court in Manhattan, alleging that the company, which also distributes Johnny Walker, Captain Morgan, and other liquor brands, had neglected the spirits under their joint control. He also alleged that Diago undermined the business by marketing Ciroc and De Leon as urban rather than something for the general market. In a filing made Tuesday in the same jurisdiction, Diago called for the suit to be dismissed and said they will no longer be working with Combs, who over the years has launched Cohen restaurants, which I did not know that, and also has a stake in the Revolt TV network. So listen, at the end of the day, y'all, with this, it really is about how you put yourself out there in terms of branding. I think there's nothing wrong with, vodka and, tequila being marketed as urban. I mean, everything else is for everybody else. So why can't it be marketed to us? I think that PD could have played that up a little bit more. to our advantage, maybe feature, some content creators that, at the end of the day, they are mixologists. There are black mixologists around here. There are black bar owners. There are black restaurants. You could just win dropped off a whole thing of some rock vodka, um, or De Leon tequila. You could have, say, hey, I'm gonna be your bottle man tonight. You know what I mean? Just like the ball girls do. That would have been a cool experience. However, the same token, when you're also trying to expand a whole brand, I think it's also important to recognize that, most products should be for a general audience as well. Um, so yeah, I hope that gets worked out because at the end of the day, really, just really, 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 really. Um, I think life is way too short, and I think that they will get back. I mean, hopefully the relationship is not that fractured where it won't be any more partnerships. Because guess what? There's not a lot of black distillers and makers of vodka and tequila and whiskey and everything else. Uncle Nathan Nearest Green Whiskey, if I can take a moment to talk about them, they are the number one selling African American whiskey in the world. And for those of you who are wondering, Braylon, who in the world's Uncle Nearest? Well, Uncle Nearest was the first African American distiller in the United States of America who taught a young man named Jack Daniels to make whiskey. That's right, the whiskey that y'all drink, Jack Daniels, was actually helped helped out. How my rambling comes crazy to be time, but basically what I'm trying to say is the whiskey that was created, formulated, and produced was made by a black man in partnership with a white man, and there's still Nearest Green family members working at the distillery to this day. So it was this young lady who basically took the genealogy of the family and traced back the history of Uncle Nathan Nearest Green. And because of that, they made a whiskey, and the descendants of Uncle Nathan Nearest Green get full scholarships to college. And it's amazing. So, when I see the world, going to hell in a handbasket, I think to myself, if a black man and a white man could team up and make whiskey back in the day, we're still drinking on that whiskey today. What are we doing? And I really, really do mean that. What are we doing? Um, this next story here, I'm gonna save the last one for the last one because I have a lot to say on it. Because it's just, Lord Jesus. So this scheduling app named Squire, Squire, the Black Barbershop booking app, clears 1 billion in processed payments. I'm gonna say that again: 1 billion in processed payments. Squire, the barbershop scheduling app, has surpassed 1 billion in payments processed, according to a tweet from Squire co-founder Solange Laron. Celebratory news came after via a series of tweets from the company's co-founder, who shared a bit of the journey to arrive at the milestone. It took 2 years to reach our first million, 5.5 years to 100 million. Oh, hang on, yeah, I'm sorry. No thanks. Okay. And now we're surpassed $1 billion. Wow. That's amazing. That's astronomically mind blowing. Astronomically mind blowing that these two black men came together to be able to help barbershops, which is basically in black communities, be able to regulate their finances a little bit easier, and they just surpassed $1 billion. He continued, every dollar reflects the work of the hard work of our team, and the dedication of the barbers that we serve. I'm deeply grateful to every shop owner, barber, and team member who has been a part of this journey. Squire, which is currently at a $750 million valuation, was launched in 2016 to help barbers and clients find each other seamlessly. The platform is described as an all-in-one barbershop business management system that helps professionals retain customers, manage operations, and increase revenue. Some of the app standout features include Instagram booking, contactless payments, and virtual waiting rooms. A large part of Squire's success can be attributed to the commitment of its founders, LaRon, and his business partner, David Savant. Took an all or nothing approach to launching the app. According to Afrotech, my co-founder was working out a law firm and quit his job. Savant said, we had to figure out if we believe strongly enough in this to leave our jobs and institutions. People think about that all the time. Betting on themselves has earned the pair huge dividends through successful funding rounds for Esquire from Iconic Capital, Trinity Ventures, and others. So congratulations on passing $1 billion. That is just, I mean, astronomically amazing. And shout out to all of us trying to do something. And here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, you know, accomplishments are only as big as the people that support the accomplishments, right? You know, like I said to y'all, I got the chance to engage and talk to the multicultural director of marketing at Cadillac. That was a very big thing for me. And, you know, at the end of the day, what I've come to realize is we are so more connected than we are apart. And I look at it like this, even though that is not your $1 billion that you were able to, you know, surpass, or you didn't have that happen to you, doesn't mean that it's not a win. Let me say that again. That does not mean it's not a win. I think the fact that we are able to see a black owned company of two black men specifically go past and reach $1 billion, that's a win for all of us. That goes to show us that there is really nothing impossible with what we can do. So, with that being said, this last story here, I think y'all all saw it. Let me pull it up. So, as you guys know, Twitter side eyes the honorary Oscar Angela Bassett is about to receive. The incomparable Angela Bassett is a new dawn, it's a new day. She's finally getting her Oscar amid the 30th anniversary for the Tina Turner pick. What's love got to do with it? Bassett was disappointed, rightfully so, at the 95th annual Academy Awards, where she didn't go home with Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her role in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. But this spring, the energy hits differently now that Queen Ramada, who is crowned as the first actor to receive an Oscar nomination for a Marvel movie, can now add the coveted honorary Academy Award to her shelf after her induction in a fall ceremony. You know, I know that we are supposed to be happy for when somebody wins, and I am. But I genuinely do feel that at the end of the day, this isn't right. You know, she deserves a Oscar for an actual Oscar. And, you know, some people are, you know, ecstatic that she, you know, is getting this honorary Oscar. But I think, you know, the same token too, she has done more than enough in our culture, from all the acting roles she has done, to the way she carries herself, to the way that she, you know, has been such a wonderful support system for us. I think it's a disrespect to give her an honorary Oscar. Um, you know, I feel like honorary Oscars are just kind of like the participation trophy of the industry. It's like, oh, you're in the industry, so here you go. It's like, no, she deserves Oscar-winning actress to her name. But, you know, the same token, we can't ask for awards by people who don't give us the time of day in the first place. And y'all remember what Chris Rock did. I know everybody knows Chris Rock for the slap, but you gotta remember what Chris Rock did. Um, hang on one second, y'all. Hang on. Hey, I'm back, y'all. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys remember Oscar So White, right? And how there weren't really a lot of black artists. I mean, we got to think about that with the Golden Globe Awards, right? The Golden Globe Awards through the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. They have a lot of members, and there was a lot of hidden things done in the back. And so that organization is disbanded, and now the Golden Globes are just trying to find a new home. Um, you know, it's just, why do we continue to fight to be seen? Why do we continue to fight to get awards from man that you can't take with you, or that we can't take with us? And finally, why are we fighting to be in a space where they've never made space for us? That would be like, I'm trying to think of a great black. Um, I'm trying. There's so many. There's so many. That would be like that would be like saying Bernie Mac deserves an honorary Emmy award for the Bernie Mac show. No, he deserves an Emmy. And sometimes I feel like these honorary awards are just ways to shut people up. I know that's mean. It's probably doing the most. I know that's probably out there. But I said what I said. Um, if anything, I think that we need to make sure that we keep supporting our people, because guess what? These awards are going to come and go, but the careers that these people have, they only are as big as we make them out to be. If you guys remember the movie Coco from Disney Pixar, I love Coco. Such an amazing film where it's about this kid and Hector de la Cruz, and how on the other side of passing away is this whole world full of skeletons, lively skeletons, right? And the only way those skeletons will ever stay alive in that world is if you remember them. And the more that you do not remember them, um, the more that you don't remember them, the more that they fade away. Hey, T Talk with your girl. Thank you so much. I'm trying. I'm trying here. Messy Girls Mia was gonna go at 7, so I'm like, all right, let me change it to 6. But growth is happening, and I thank you guys so much. And Shan, you are right. The honorary awards is slap in the face, but they're attracted to how they are attached to how they pay us. Exactly right. Exactly right. I mean, let's just say, for example, that Braylon's virtual tour became a show, and they wanted to give me an honorary Emmy award for outstanding variety show on a streaming platform. No, I want that Emmy, because Braylon's virtual tour is a tour for everybody else, because the world tells us what landmarks matter. The world tells us what people matter. The world tells us what topics we need to focus on. Not everybody gets on the main tour. You know how, like, you go to Walt Disney World and there's the Matt Keys to the Kingdom tour for $50, and there's the VIP tour. Not everybody's going to get to be on that VIP tour. And the people who make the content and the writers who write the content, when you give that writer, you give that person an honorary Oscar, what you're saying is, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that side tour that people are paying $50 for. But we're never going to give you the main award that you deserve for the great tour that you are, not for being a part of a selection of tours, but for being a great option as a tour for the tour that you are. I know that was long winded, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. That's like Princess and the Frog getting a honorary Oscar for nomination. And the only way I can really think about the Oscars now is, do y'all remember when Jimmy Kimmel hosted the Oscars and it was La La Land that supposedly won, and nobody really knew what was going on? And so the director of La La Land said, no, we didn't win. It was Moonlight. Everybody in the Dolby Theater was like, what in the world? What in the world? Hey, Nadra, welcome in. What in the world is going on here? And I think we're just asking that for this honorary Oscar. It's like, can we have a press release saying, no. Angela Bassett will not be getting an honorary Oscar. We will see her at the Oscars next year. And, it's weird. People get tied up into what they do, how they are, how people look at them. But in every industry, there are standards, requirements, and markers that showcase who you are in the industry, right? Absolutely. They've had honorary Emmys and honorary Oscar awards now. I don't know if they have honorary Tony awards, because even the Kennedy Center, I don't think they do honorary stuff. But to me, it's just like a participation trophy. I'm not saying that Angela Bassett is getting a participation trophy. She does not deserve a participation trophy. She deserves to be a gold medalist. She deserves the Oscar, the Grammy, the Tony. She deserves to be an EGOT, damn it. She deserves it. I mean, Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors had to say, "We see you, auntie," because they knew what was up. Everybody black respects her because she is Angela Bassett, not for the roles that she's done, not just for her existence, but for her carrying out the responsibility of recognizing with great power comes that great responsibility. And for that alone, she deserves to win an actual Oscar. And you know what's going to be happening at the Academy? Then we're like, well, damn it, we can't get these people to ever be grateful for anything. We're giving her an Oscar. And you know what? You have every right to that conversation. But we also have every right to say that we don't agree with the conversation. And I think that is a big reason why this world is getting more lost day after day, hour after hour, minute by minute, second by second, millisecond by millisecond, is because when you disagree with a conversation, you are casted out as a person who doesn't go with the flow. And that's not right. That's not right at all. And listen, I know the BET Awards happened. And I will talk about this one moment from the BET Awards that I did see. And it relates to this, right? There was a rap act on stage in the middle of the aisles, and they were singing, well, not singing, they were rapping some lyrics that, they had a right to do it, but also too, guess who was in the audience, y'all? Dr. Bobby Jones, a Bobby Jones gospel. My mom watched that show, as did all of you, for many years on BET. That was the longest running variety program, I think, in cable history, if I'm not mistaken. And the pure disrespect that I saw of that. Do you not realize had not been for Dr. Bobby Jones that, there could not be a 106 in Park, that there could not be a Rap City, that there could not be a Video Soul? I mean, honestly, Video Soul was the R&B version of Dr. Bobby Jones gospel. How does this relate to Angela Bassett with Dr. Bobby Jones? Just because you have the right to do something doesn't give you the right to do it. I understand BET is in a transition right now because they are potentially becoming black owned again by Tyler Perry. And listen, I know we can't hold on to what it is to be black because it evolves every generation. Old school black is not new school black. New school black ain't gonna be future black. But what we gotta be able to do is we have to be able to see that every type of black matters. And that just because you are honoring Dr. Bobby Jones of a gospel award doesn't give you the right to just have to fool at your own award show. Just like giving an honorary Oscar, just because you give an honorary Oscar doesn't mean she's not going to have the right to feel some type of way when her name is called and she doesn't get it. And then y'all go to Entertainment Tonight Access, E! News, and everybody else and say, well, we gave her an honorary Oscar. She didn't win it. We gave her an honorary Oscar. No. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to stand up when everyone else is sitting down. And like I said, congratulations to Angela Bassett. Congratulations to her husband, Courtney B. Vance, and her wonderful kids. Your mom is getting an Oscar. But I believe that that the community, rather, and y'all are a part of our community, even though we will never meet y'all. I believe that y'all even agree that your mama is better than just getting an honor because she is your mom. Your mom does not get anything honorary. Oh, mom, thanks for doing that. You're so great. No, you love her because she gives everything. And she deserves that return for the gift that God gave her. So, anyway, y'all, welcome into the virtual tour live. Oh, I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday night. Like I said, I am seeing the growth. Thank you all so much. I hope you guys are enjoying the virtual tour short. I'm going to be making more of those. The virtual tour pit stop. I'm going to see. I'm gonna see how this Ryan Seacrest video does. And I did talk about it over there, but I'll give it to you guys, the virtual tour live fam, on the reason why I don't like the decision. Ryan Seacrest is already booked. He is. He's got American Idol. He's got Top 40. He's got he's got his radio show. He's got his production company. Like, he's got a foundation. Like, this dude is already busy. And y'all wonder why people are not wanting to tune into TV anymore. Because if you see everybody doing everything, there's no diversity. And it's not just diversity in terms of skin color. It is diversity in thought. It is diversity in representation. I believe everybody has their American Idol that puts them on this trajectory of a limitless possibility. LeVar Burton, auditioned for Jeopardy, didn't get it. And by the way, y'all, Alex Trebek, the legendary Alex Trebek, had one wish. He wanted Laura Coates to host Jeopardy, and they could not honor his request. I feel you. I mean, Niecy Nash would have been great. Tracy Ellis Ross would have been great. I'm trying to think who else would have been great. Queen Latifah would have been great. And Queen Latifah, she had her own talk show, did an absolute phenomenal job. I'm trying to think who else. I mean, Joy Behar would have been funny. But I mean, there's so many other people that could have done that job. Yes, Laura Coates, the black attorney and person who's on CNN. Yes, Alex Trebek wanted her to host the show, to host Jeopardy. They could not honor his request. Um, Robin Roberts could have done it. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know what's going on with this world, y'all. I mean, and I'm telling you right now, if Sony does not pay Vanna White her pay respectfully, that show is going to be over. That show is going to be over. Do you hear me? And I would love to work with Laura Coates sometime myself. I actually, y'all know how much I love game shows and TV and everything in between. I actually created a game show for her specifically. I'm not going to give what that game show is right now, but all I'm going to say is that, everybody has different levels to climb, and I will just leave it there. But it's such a good concept. Oh my God, such a good concept. But yeah, it's just no one wanted Ryan Seacrest. Like, I looked on Twitter, I looked on Instagram, I looked everywhere. Nobody wanted Ryan because he already does everything. He already does everything. And listen, I know that there is stability, but there is a difference between wanting stability for integrity and wanting stability for currency. Y'all did not have to choose Ryan Seacrest. What y'all could have done, and I think Vanna White is more than capable of understanding television. She's been there just as long as Pat Sajak. It would have been so much fun to see the guest host of Wheel of Fortune. Because you know what would have happened? Viral moments would have happened from all those guestants. You know what I mean? Just imagine if Niecy Nash, said something funny after a puzzle. That would have gave y'all social capital. But no, you choose Ryan Seacrest, who's already got a lot going on. And he just left Live with Kelly and Ryan. Like, Ryan, you really don't need the money, bro. You really don't. And yes, I know that you did a game show called Click, and that Merv Griffin produced it, and that was a very sentimental thing. But dude, you don't have to jump on everything. You don't. You honestly don't. Everybody knows who you are. Okay? Everybody knows who you are. Okay? Now, I will say this. Let's just say if I was in the industry right now, right? Because we all know that Steve Harvey is eventually going to be leaving Family Feud. I don't want him to. You don't want him to. None of us want him to. But if I happen to throw my hat in the ring for Family Feud and they announce me as the new host of Family Feud, yes, they may be skeptical because they've never seen me before. But also, too, at least I'm different. And I think that's the whole point of this, is just, can we be different? You always say that, diversity matters. You always say that different perspectives matters. You always matters, rather. And you always say we need to see more of the possibilities of what could be. Well, y'all listen, just because you put Casablanca on rotation doesn't mean that other movies don't need to be in the rotation. And just because he's a good host doesn't mean that he has to be the only host in rotation. That's all I'm saying. So just, I don't know. So he will be taking over after this season is over with Pat Sajak. So, child, just okay. Just. And it's crazy too, because it's like, He's going from he's going from being on TV um, days a week on morning TV to 5 nights a week on a game show. Ryan, you already do American Idol Sundays and Mondays. What are you trying to do? You trying to have all 7 days? Now listen, I know that Nike is everywhere. You know, Nissan's everywhere. Yeah, they are, but they also diversify where they are in their lanes, though. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. So, but yeah, those are the stories I have for y'all. If y'all wanna come through and hang out with your man, your friend, and family member, Braylon Lee here. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. Let's see here. All right, y'all. The link is dropped in the chat. That's why I'm saying, Nedra. That's exactly why I'm saying, like, let somebody else get the chance to do it. There we go. I didn't realize I didn't have the music on the whole time. There we go. Let's see. Hey, Shan, welcome in.
Hey, Bray.
Hey, welcome in.
I had to come up because when you were talking about Diddy and his brand,
Yes.
the liquor line, I
Mm-hmm.
understand. I read an article about that and I saw an interview and I understand what he's trying to say because what he's saying is like I believe it was George Clooney who also had a brand or some Caucasian actor or somebody, but I believe it was George Clooney's brand.
Right,
Because
Casamigos, yes.
yeah, I was just about to say that he's Casamigos. So he was talking about how Casamigos has been promoted over his brands, and I get it because even Casamigos is everywhere. You
Yeah.
cannot go, and I recall because I don't drink anymore, but I used to be a heavy drinker. Like
Right.
I used to drink, and I had my favorites were on the Ciroc line, but they weren't everywhere, and I used to get mad because it's like, okay, I'm going in for my favorite Ciroc because Ciroc is some smooth stuff. I liked all the flavors, and
Mm-hmm.
you have nothing. You may have some plain, but I like the flavors. So, and
Right.
I don't just hang out in bars in urban areas. I hang out in bars everywhere. And the
Right.
problem with it being labeled as urban is it's not available. That's the problem. By it being labeled urban, it's
Mm-hmm.
only available through some reps, and that is the problem. And that's what
Right.
they do to us. And that's what he's trying to. Yeah, you can get away from me and not deal with me anymore, but you still gonna pay me for what you made me lose. Because at the end of the
Mm.
day, I don't believe they would have even promoted him properly like they should. Because the bad part about it is they will make more money off of his brands than they even do off the Casamigos. Because to me, the way I hear it talked about doesn't sound like it tastes as good as the other brand. Like the flavors
Mm.
and the different stuff. It's just the fact that Casamigos. You know what I'm saying? It's not,
Right.
oh, this tastes good. Oh, put this with some this and some that. And because we used to actually make frozen drinks out of, and we used to have parties and we would have frozen drinks out of the different brands of Ciroc and have it with a syrup that makes it, complimentary or taste good. And they used to kill it. But the
Right.
problem is they're not promoting him the way that they promote these other brands. And he's had the longest relationship with them.
Yeah.
And that's the problem because and that ties right into the topic of you talking about the honorary awards
Mm-hmm.
because you feel like you're giving something to somebody like it wasn't deserved. That man is a brand all by himself and has been for over 30 years. You know
Yes,
what I'm
he
saying?
is.
So he don't need y'all. Y'all for real need him, and y'all gonna feel it when you're losing because even though he's only available in the urban markets, that's gonna be a big chunk of your urban markets when it get out as to why y'all not dealing with each other no more.
Oh yeah.
Because you know how people is when they hear you ain't dealing with their favorite person because of XYZ. Oh, I don't do that. I don't drink that no more. We moving on to something else. You know what I'm
And
saying?
and believe you me, not to cut you off, Shan, but believe you me, there are plenty. And yes, I do know that they are the biggest distributor, but that don't mean that there are other people doing what they do.
Exactly. And
And
also, Braylon, I don't know if you drink or not, but by me being such a drinker, and even though I don't drink, I do mix for
right,
people because I wasn't an experienced drinker because I was in the
right,
military too. So I used to drink a lot of stuff, a lot of different stuff. So mixing it, I became my self-proclaimed mixologist. Okay,
mm-hmm,
so every distributor has something similar or that does the same thing for your mixed drink that the
right,
other distributor has. So you don't want to burn bridges. You may be big in your britches, but you don't want to be too big in your britches to where you got people that's like me, that's like you're not the only game in town.
mm-hmm,
So, and like you said, it's brands and different things coming out the woodwork that people don't really know about.
yep,
However, there is a section that's giving scholarships to learn about
yes,
African
indeed,
American beer brands. They're giving some huge scholarships about African American beer brands and all kind of different things about liquor and what's so not about scholarships and wanting us to learn these things. And the problem is these kids, that is the way they're going. They're going into promoting clubs and stuff like that. And the problem is they're also protesters these days and activists.
right,
So you're shooting yourself in, oh excuse me, you're hurting your own self and hurting your own foot, shall I say, sticking it in your mouth when you
yep,
should be promoting a certain way. Because if you notice, that's why cigarettes are not promoted the way they used to be
mm-hmm,
because of the of what they say it causes. However, it's not promoted. You know what I'm saying? They know it's
right,
not
yep,
good for you, but it's still being promoted. It's just not
mm-hmm.
promoted in the way it used to be promoted. So, and I don't understand why these brands don't understand or have not evolved. And I'm thinking, is it because the old guard is still intact?
I think
That they
mm-hmm. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you can go ahead because that was my question. Like, do they not understand that the old guard is still intact? So what you used to do don't work 40
Sure.
years later. Y'all might want to switch it up something.
Sure. No, absolutely. I think that's a wonderful question because this is the thing. The marketplace has diversified in terms of who can get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just, for example, Twitch right now, huge live streaming platform. Do y'all not know if they did Twitch Plus, which I know would be another streaming service that nobody would be asking for, but follow with where I'm going here, people. If they reached out and said, all right, Twitch Plus is going to be a live streaming, taped streaming platform for adults 21 and older. And PD's vodka brand was going to be the official vodka brand of Twitch Plus, where they will send the vodka to Twitchers to drink during their live stream. Music streams, watch parties. Now you have a tequila brand that is the official tequila of a live streaming platform. See how the game has changed, ladies and gentlemen? Now, that's just Twitch. Now you just got to find the right distributor. But guess what? After a while, YouTube may say, okay, cool. You know what? How about YouTube and Ciroc team up? And let's talk to all of the mixologists on YouTube. And now guess what? YouTubers who are mixologists can make vodka mix parties on YouTube, like Food Network. P. Diddy, if you do any of those things, I better be a host on one of those damn things. You understand me? Listen.
But think about it, Braylon, though. He's already done that, though. Think back. I know you a little young, but if you think back to your early years and you remember liquor brands and sponsorships, who did you see sponsoring stuff? It was always P. Diddy and his Ciroc in the beginning, remember?
Yep.
It was all Ciroc had so many sponsorships that it was wild. And they were pronounced sponsorships. They were out in the forefront. Because, you know, brands like when you saw other brands like Hennessy and different brands like that promoting stuff, it wasn't as loud. It wasn't as obvious, as rambunctious as when Ciroc promoted something, right? A concert or anything. Just like when you have these different beer companies promoting these sports activities or what have you, or even Coca-Cola and Pepsi promoting something, it's not as loud. It's not as out there. Ciroc presents, Pepsi presents. They don't do it like that. But Diddy, by him being the genius, I feel like he's a genius when it comes to promotion.
Right.
He always has been. Even though he was up in all his artist videos, he was a genius at promoting it, though. So that's why I think they're losing, because they're also losing his plans for marketing. You think he didn't have input in how they were marketing his brand?
Right.
They may not have been putting the machine behind it like they should have, but as far as we know, he was in the streets, you know, because he was only in our areas, though. So when we went to different places, because back then my kids played sports, so we were traveling, and when we go to places, the parents go to the bar when the kids, you know, go back to the room after they did their game or whatever.
Right.
They didn't have what we was drinking because we're from an urban area. We not drinking all this stuff y'all got up here. We want what we want.
Right.
So at that point, then, I gotta settle for something that's comparable. That's why I say they don't understand what they're doing, because there's always a comparable, unless you just got that one, and it's not that normal to have just that one thing. Because when they started doing the Ciroc flavors, Absolute came right behind them and started doing flavors.
Right.
Because first they just only had lemon. Next thing you know, when Ciroc pumping out all the peach and all this other stuff, who went right behind them and did the same thing? You know?
Right.
But the thing for me is Ciroc and other Grey Goose and other vodkas are smoother. You know? So the thing about it is, you're losing that person that's the magnetic field for what you've done with these other brands. Because honestly, the spin that they put on Casamigos gave me Diddy vibes. Literally. From what I see in the different places where I go, it's giving Diddy vibes.
Right.
And that may be another reason why he's mad, because you putting my spin on somebody else's stuff and I'm not getting nothing off of it. Because you know, he got his hand, and I was just reading there's a comment that said he want to make all the money. This Diddy we talking about, we already know he want to make all the money. All the money. So, but that's part of, like, I was sitting here and I was kind of fuming. I'm like, Braylon will have some activist topics today, because when you went right into that about the honorary Oscar, it just heated me up even more, because if she deserved that honorary, she deserved the actual
Yep.
Oscar.
Yep.
So you sit up here and tell me you give somebody an honorary Oscar, but they can't get an actual
Yep.
Oscar? Come on now. And that's just like when they give these honorary degrees at these different schools. They give them because at one point this person has surpassed what we look for in our degree program. So we're going to give an honorary degree because they don't have the time to come back and get the actual degree.
Right.
But she's actually working for the actual award. That's why I'm like, it makes no sense. Because
Right.
honorary, why are you giving her honorary and she's still working? She should have
Yep.
gotten actual. And see, these awards and stuff like that, it makes me mad because I realized a long time ago that they're tied into the salaries that and they and everybody make. So
Yep.
I feel like that's the importance to us is we want to be equal in salary as our counterparts, but they're still making that difficult. And that's why we fight to be in these spaces. Because when you get there, they like, okay, well, we're not giving you what she got because she's Oscar winning, and you're just
Right.
nominated, or you know what I'm saying, but she won it. So, and it's supposed to be, these awards are supposed to be from peers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We know it's already rigged. I don't care what nobody's saying. My opinion, Shan, not Braylon Lee, they're rigged because they're giving them to some of these movies that get Oscars, and I'm like, okay, so is Oscars like an international thing? Because I done seen some of these movies and different actors get this stuff, and I'm like, well, who is that? I ain't never seen them on my movie screen. I know we're not the only ones that watch movies, but I'm pretty sure we're the biggest movie watchers in the world.
We are. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And I mean, this is the thing too, right? I'm so thankful that I am having this time now to not be known. So by the time I do get in the game, I know exactly who I am. So if I do Family Feud and year after year we don't get nominated, and there's a young intern, Mr. Lee, can you believe this ish? We didn't get nominated for Family Feud. You didn't get nominated as host. Wait. Hang on 1 second. Hang on. What you tripping for? Look around where we are right now. We're on the set of the #1 game show in America. We're on the set of the #1 internationally format game show in America. We're on the #1 game show that makes social media operate. You get to be an intern on it. I get to host it. What you tripping for?
I disagree with you, sir. Because I feel like you tripping because at the end of the day, when we're no longer #1, we have nothing to show that at this point in time we were #1.
Okay, I can see that. I can see
That's
that.
where I differ from your opinion. Like, I agree with all the other stuff, and I agree with, you know, not being so in your own way that you let them stop your greatness. But
right,
I'm upset with that intern at this point because we are #1 in time, and the only reason why, in my opinion, we're not being recognized is that one thing that shows up with me no matter where I go. It's the first thing everybody sees on Black men and women when you step in the door is your blackness. On
absolutely.
top of being a man or a woman, it's the first thing they see. And that's the reason why we not there. And it's just frustrating because you always hear other people say, well, what's the problem? I don't know, what's the big deal? Everybody's equal. Well, no, we're not. And that's the big deal. If we were so equal, it's just at maybe about 10 years, maybe about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, it wasn't so pronounced until we got our first African-American president. Now it's become so pronounced over the last, 8, 10 years or so,
Correct.
that it's like it's just out there and it's heavy, and it's like it's something that we've never dealt with before, and everybody doesn't understand it because we've never dealt with it. Our parents and our grandparents dealt with it a little bit more than we have, because when I was
Right.
coming up, we were still, even up north, we were still not segregated, but you could tell where
Mm-hmm.
they lived and where we lived until I got
Right.
into like high school. Then everything started to get a little bit more diverse. But in my younger years, you could tell where we lived and where they lived, it was separate. It wasn't separate on purpose at this point. It was just how it was. So now I feel like personally, at this point in my life where I have adult children and grandparents, that things would be different, because that's the impression that was being pressed upon us for years. But it's
Right.
not, and it's evident in our movies. Like, we have a lot of great movies, and I hope with Tyler Perry's acquisition of VH1 and BET that it starts to change, because we still don't have the space to be technically free and equal.
No, I totally agree with you, and Shan, I want you to know that because I said that doesn't mean I don't agree in recognition, but also too, within that space, we are also responsible for how we carry ourselves too, because kids and people that support us are only going to vibe off of us. Now, while I will appreciate what that young man or what that young brother or young sister will be upset about with us not being nominated for Family Feud, it's my responsibility to let them know, hey, listen, we may not be getting the award, but guess what? You see all these lights still on? You see
Exactly.
all those audiences? You interning, I get to host it. There was a point in time we didn't have this, where we were skits. We weren't being a part of the skit. Now we executive producing our own voice. So,
But it lands me to that other thing as well, is you're now giving this intern the talk. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Because we have to give the talk still.
Yep, we do. Sad as it is.
And that's my point. Like, I agree with everything you're saying. I agree with you wholeheartedly. However, that one little thing makes us differ, because I think that intern should be upset. However, you turn that into gold. You make your anger, you show it on the canvas as if you were an artist, because this is your
Right.
craft. And I agree that you don't want them to be angry. I do. I just want you to use your anger constructively instead of for, you know what I'm saying? Like, we
I do.
saying the same thing.
Yep.
I'm just coming at it differently because I got a couple decades on you. I got more than a couple, baby. Let's say a few. So
Understood.
I'm gonna say, take your anger and use it for good instead of evil. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And that's why I love to listen to you talk, because you're very intelligent for your age, and you have a lot of experience, I can tell. But as being an older person, I see it this way because I've come through some eras.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
And we live in I was born and raised in the urban area, but I moved to a predominantly Caucasian area, and I have been giving my children the talk since elementary school.
Right.
It started in preschool, and I have some Caucasian friends that really didn't understand until I had to tell them, look, don't get mad because I'm about to offend you. Because you know how people say, I'm not trying to offend you, but, and I never
Mm-hmm.
start like that. I start with, I don't want you to get mad because I'm about to offend you by what I'm about to say,
Right.
because you don't understand what I'm about to say. So I don't set people up for that. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm going to set you up and say, look, I'm about to offend you because you don't understand what I'm saying. And if we can
Right.
have an adult conversation, then you can know. And see, that's where I talk to, like, I have a few Caucasian friends that they come and actually want to have the talk with me a lot of times, because I have told them about that angry person. You know what I'm saying? That's mad because we're the number one show. We're the number one show. And by us being the number one show, why are we not receiving the same accolades and awards as everyone else?
Right.
And that's where we come back to. We come back to the fact that there's only one difference between us and the people that's getting accolades, outside of the fact that we number one and they number two. It's only one difference.
Yep.
So I think as young people, and I'm pretty sure you done had to talk a couple times as well, and a lot of us want to tell our children and young people that we know, don't be mad. I want you, but see me, I'm from a different, and I dealt in the criminal justice system too, and you can't tell people not to be mad, because you're going to get mad at things, but you just have to use it for good instead of evil. And that's why I love you so much, because you speak like an elderly person, and you can tell that you were raised by some mature parents on both sides of the fence. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you've seen some things. You know,
for sure.
So for sure. You've taken those things and progressed to a good young man, a decent person. So, but we all can use a little knowledge and learning from people, because I've heard you say stuff before that made me think, like, for real? Oh, okay. You know, so that's why I like the panels that I come on, because I come on panels and not necessarily that we agree, but that we can talk about our differences. Absolutely. And how we got to them, because we can give each other some good information. And I really appreciated what you said at the beginning. That's what made me stick around so long, because I was like, he's speaking a word. I was like, but I kind of disagree with that, so I'm gonna tell him that. And I couldn't type at the time because I was driving. So I was like, I'm gonna stick around so I can let him know my take on that, because I agree with what you're saying. You can't get all discombobulated with that, but you can take your anger and make it productive. Like, and that's just something that most people don't understand, that you can't be angry without showing that anger in a negative light. There is positive anger. Yeah.
And you know, I appreciate everything you're saying. And you know what? I think that calmness is responsible anger. Mm-hmm. And I think in that conversation, I'm right there with them, but I also understand that, you know, I'm responsible for walking out there on that set. And if I don't have myself right, they're not going to get to be on a set. So it's a little different with me. But like you said, it's responsible anger. You know what I mean? And the biggest way to showcase that responsible anger is, you know, if I'm on, you know, the Jennifer Hudson show, she's like, well, Braylon, you know, you guys are getting 20 million people a day on Family Feud, and y'all the number one show. What do you have to say about that? I'm like, well, let me tell you something. I talk with my team on a consistent basis. Without communication, there is no connection. Understand? They are pissed. They are upset. They are angry. But I said to them, listen, we are responsible for people's release. And what we're doing right now is being responsible with our anger. And we're going to keep being responsible. But I promise you this, though. If you do not do the right thing, you can go deaf from sound. The only distinction of going deaf with sound Either you're going to go deaf hearing the worst, or you're going to go to deaf by hearing the best. And I would rather get this hearing checked first by having a conversation, rather than just being angry. We all are deaf and we can't hear each other. Right. Now, if I say that on the Jennifer Hudson show, some executive is going to get on the phone to hey, did y'all see my host handle that shit? Did y'all see my host handle that? What's going on with Family Feud? Why aren't we nominated? Braylon and that team works extremely hard. Extremely hard. Braylon even does Family Feud live on the weekends sometimes. Not all the time, because that's his time, but he does that in special cities and cases because he knows that without fans, there's nothing to us. So what's going on? When you are responsible for what you do, other people will give a care and be responsible for what they can do because you're responsible for what you do.
Exactly.
Oh man, different virtual tour live today. You know what? I gotta tell y'all something. You know, this virtual tour live thing, I didn't know if it would work out or not, but I actually really do like doing this. Like, and I gotta tell you something. Doing YouTube in the beginning is so discouraging. It is, because you are starting from ground zero. You are a voice upon the billions of voices, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I think Kempire and DJ Richie Sky and Nola Reeds and all of these content creators, I'm using these content creators in a context for this conversation, okay? They probably like, well, damn, I'm at zero. I don't want to do this. Nobody hearing me. But you know what ended up happening? They saw that there was a victory on the other side. But the only way to get to that victory is they had to start in order to end it. So I will just say this, even though it may be a small number now, I am honored to be a voice among a Kempire, among a DJ Richie Sky, among a Tea Talk with Your Girl, among a, trending at some point, among Here for the Hot Tea. And I believe that if you come from the place of you get to be a part instead of, oh man, I am a part, I promise you, your mindset will shift. I promise you that. And honestly, tell you the truth, y'all, I'm going to give y'all some real game. You know how there's ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and the CW? Fox was the 4th place network. And you know how in school you get bullied? You're 4th place, boo boo. Let me tell you something. There's a power and currency in being in last place. Nobody expects you to be good. They give you just enough to say they did something to you. And guess what? They leave you alone. So just because you're small, don't mean you're not placed. You may be 100, but you still placed in the top 100. Use this time to experiment, to fail, to have some wins here and there, but use this time to be in last place for the good. The last shall be first and the first shall be last. And that does not mean that destruction happens. Sometimes that might mean construction. Because I promise you this, the content creators that are on here now, the first shall be last. The first of these content creators, this is going to be the last thing they do because eventually they're going to be on the big screen. But you know what happens when the first shall be last? The last is going to be first. That means you are going to move up on YouTube and then your time will come. Remember, last place does not mean you did not get recognized. It just gives you a better chance to get yourself to get recognized later on down the line. All right, y'all. I don't know who needs to hear that today. Maybe it was my damn self. Maybe my damn self needed to hear that. But listen, listen. So, oh man.
And another thing, the Laura Coates of it all
Yes.
would have been wonderful.
Oh yeah. I believe she will be just fine. And like I said about the Cadillac thing, it's about the spectrum of wins. Even though she is not hosting Jeopardy, out of all the names that could have came out of Alex Trebek's mouth, she will always have that honor of being the host that he wanted to continue that legacy. Can't nobody take that away from her. Mm-hmm. That's an honor. That's an extreme honor. You know what I mean? And I think we have to look at it like that, that at the end of the day, just because you may not be recognized by the people in power doesn't mean the one that made the recommendation didn't have power.
Mm.
And, I think we got to recognize the people that are in power, all the people that are in multicultural marketing. Y'all, some of us have been, including myself, some of us have been using the wrong doors to get to our dream come true. People are in multicultural marketing for a reason, because they can't do what we do. Use those doors, y'all. I think that there's a Black content creator class on YouTube. There's probably somebody at there's probably a director of multicultural marketing at YouTube. Use that door. Because the one thing about that door that they can't say is that they have the keys. They have the keys to the mansion, but they don't have the key to open up that room. That's the multicultural director of marketing's door to open. Recognize that just because somebody owns the house don't mean they can open up every room in the house.
Okay.
Just being real with y'all. Just being real with y'all. By the way, I think Dr. Bobby Jones may not be going back to the BET Awards. I'm just going to be real with y'all. I think Dr. Bobby Jones, when he saw that, he was like, these are not my grandchildren. These are not my grandkids. I did not raise them on this. Where are the parents who watch my damn show?
And I saw Yolanda Adams out there too. I was like, where's she sneaking the crowd? I know they was a little stunned.
And I'm just like this, respectfully. Y'all could do that to Dr. Bobby Jones, but y'all can't do a celebration of gospel. Really?
Well, we got some new people in charge, so hopefully things gonna change.
Yeah, hopefully, child. Hopefully. I would like 106 & Park to come back. I think it could.
I would like to see a lot more musical programs like before. It would behoove them to stop playing Martin and figure out something else to play, because it used to be the BET Music Channel, remember?
Mm-hmm. I remember very vividly.
And I loved all the music shows. And I would love for them to incorporate the music shows with the movies and the sitcoms and do it all. And I think Tyler is just the person for that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He be all over the place, so I could see him being able to hone in on everything.
No, for sure. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I think that 106 & Park could be on for every day part on BET.
Yeah.
I really do. And
Because you remember 106 in
yes,
Park actually was kind of the start for the BET Awards. And we don't need a BET Awards, hip hop, BET regular awards, and all this. We need just one. Just do one. Put everybody in the same building and do one like before. You don't have to break it up.
that's true. That is true. I think I will agree with you and disagree with you in the same token. Because, no, watch what I'm about to say. Imagine how cool it would be if they had the BET HBCU Student Awards.
But see, that's a different route.
Right. That's what I'm
That's
saying,
just
right?
that's a whole
That
different thing. And they do that on this other channel. I don't know the name of it, but they got an HBC one-on-one show. So that would be a good idea for you to go ahead and produce and throw out there. Because I don't know if it would just be an awards or if it would be an actual show.
right. And
Because I
I
think
think
that's what they were trying to go for with that
right,
college. What is it? College Hill.
right.
So
And I do get what you're saying, because what you're saying is, y'all, we are so big, we can showcase the spectrum in one night because we are that. In the same token, we also do need to be able to create spaces within that spectrum.
yeah.
Um, and I think that the future BT is as bright as they want to turn on the lights, and they can be as dark as they want to turn off the lights. And that's not in every situation. And all I'm going to say is, and strange things have happened. But Tyler, if you need somebody to run the 106 in Park brand, I can do it. I know every day part that needs to happen. I know how to diversify 106 in Park on every brand. I know the 106 in Park that needs to be on BET, VH1, and BET Plus. I'm not going to give that plan away on YouTube. I talked about it on Clubhouse, the Onyx collab weeknights 10/9 Central only on Clubhouse. But the only way that will ever work, Tyler, and to the people that will be running it, is if you open up that position. And I think it's past time to just open up positions because there's a need. I think you need to open up positions because it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, Tyler, to use your words, you have said many times that, I'm glad black people are rising up, but I'm also tired of black people rising up in the way of you put them in this position, but yet you don't give them the resources to be great.
Exactly.
This is an opportunity where you can create necessary positions and recognize every position that is necessary is not going to be a traditional position. And be okay with that. Because if you hear this, you're going to be like, why do I need a president of the BET 106 in Park brand at BET? Why do I need that? Well, Good Morning America has a representative of Good Morning America. And they got GMA. They got GMA3, What You Need to Know. They had Sarah Strahan and Kiki. They can have Good Evening America with Braylon Lee, Michael Strahan, and Jill Scott, weeknights at 7/6 Central, only on ABC. You get the picture. If GMA is America's #1 morning show, they diversify themselves, and Good Morning America makes ABC run, BET also needs that singular platform to make BET run. You can do what you want to do. But how has that worked out for BET so far? And not to mention, Tyler, I got the time to do it. That's the big thing. These are the executives going to be asking for big salaries. They're going to be asking for riders or what they want in their offices. They gonna want
Well, you
all
know
this
what,
power.
Braylon? Go on ahead and drop Tyler a line. He reads his stuff. He does. I can't say that I've been in a room with a person who has said he reads his stuff. Because at one point, some people through my church he read their stuff. So drop him a line. He if he get to it next year, he reads his stuff. His stuff get read.
You never know. I mean, right now, of course, the press release is not out yet. Um, I wait for actual information.
Well, he does
Yeah,
have his own studio as well. So
no,
even if you drop him that line about that show and it can come out of his studio now.
yeah, no, absolutely right, absolutely right. And what I was going to say was there are some executives that are going to ask for all this power, but they're not going to know how to responsibly carry the power. And I'm saying, Tyler, if I had the opportunity, I'll be able to be the CEO of the 160 Park brand, because guess what? I never had the power. But the best people are the people who've never had it, because they have the opportunity to learn how to distribute power and not oversurge them and kill them out the game. And like I said, I got the time to do it. Every other executive you're gonna be hiring, they gonna have too busy of a schedule to pull out this to come to BET. Get people who got free time. Get people who got free time. And damn it, Barry Gordy did with arts development at BET. You might have to do an executive development division at BET. And that's okay. Listen, we got to look at BET as a second chance act. And what do you do when someone makes a comeback? You train them in how the comeback should happen. Just saying. So, but anyway, any final words or anything? I feel like honestly, today's virtual tour live was a release that everybody needed today, and I'm beginning to recognize that the audience here that's starting to build can contain a lot of information. That's not just entertainment, although that will be the foundation of this channel. We can talk about real stuff and still have soul while doing it. So
I love it. My final words would be, I like that this is a space where you're giving multiple topics about just current events, past events, and stuff that's going on in our community, in our world, that we may not know up front, forthright, and we may just be putting out there for somebody to go look into and be like, hey, I never knew that. But now let's see what I can do about it.
Yep.
Appreciate you for that.
Listen, that's what we try to do. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say I'm out of here, because I just I just came up because I appreciated what you were saying, and I just wanted to give a little extra thought to what you said from a person that's a little bit older and
absolutely
times. That's all. But I appreciate your response and your information, because a lot of times you do say stuff that while you're talking, I will Google and be like, oh really? So I appreciate it.
no problem. You too. Much love, Shan. As always, appreciate you. Well, y'all, this has been another edition of Brainley's Virtual Tour Live. I'm going to end it with the Daily Motivational Thought by Ralph Walson. Check out this quote, y'all, from Norman Vincent Peale, or Pearl. A peaceful mind generates power. A peaceful mind generates power. And with that, let's get to the thoughts. Tuesday, June 27th, 2023. Life's energy. Energy dances through your world. Feel the rhythm and dance along. adding new steps of your own. Energy flows around you, to you, through you, and from you. Give that energy good work to do. You've done what you have done, and the energy flows. You are the way you are, the energy continues. Energy gives you a solid connection to the value of what has been and to the potential of all that can be. It links you with everything you understand and offers enticing glimpses into incomprehensible mysteries. With your intention, you focus life's energy in ways that are obvious and in other ways you'll never realize. The result is a world, a life, an experience born of your authentic impulses. Hold deepness, hold goodness rather, deep inside, persistently, relentlessly, faithfully, lovingly. Give the ever-present energy of your life a beautiful and buoyant path to follow. Ralph Molson. Y'all, I hope y'all have enjoyed this virtual tour live today. I wanted to come through with some meatier topics. I think one thing on YouTube that, I don't see a lot of is I don't see the diversity in topics. And, my three things are media, culture, social capital. And I recognize that that's a wide lane. And what I will often try to do is make sure that whatever I know that I've experienced, I will talk about it. Whatever I haven't experienced, I will use stories and information that I have learned along the way. If I really don't know something, I will learn it with all of you. If we don't learn it from each other, we are going to lean to the power of curiosity and just see what can be. And I think when you understand that it is okay not knowing everything, that's when you get the greatest class ever of being able to learn, to evolve, and to become more, because you gave yourself the opportunity to learn, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, know what you do and do what you know. Never say you want more. Oh my goodness, 2 people are here. Really? Thank y'all for being here, and I appreciate everybody who has come through. The link is pinned at the top if you want to come up for a brief second. I was about to do the outro, but I appreciate y'all. And like my girl T Talk, what your girl would say, like the video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hitting the like button is just like saying hi. It really does help out the channel a great deal. And yes, I am a new content creator. I'm not new to media. I've done radio, I've done TV, I've done podcasting, I've done social audio. This part is new to me, doing YouTube. And, at the end of the day, I'm still learning. And I'm still learning y'all. So if I do make mistakes, which I know I will, give me some love, give me some grace, give me some investment, because somebody had to do it to you too. But I appreciate the 2 people that are here. And thank you to everybody who came through. Let me say hey to everybody once again. Nedra, Shan, T-Talk with your girl. Everybody who came through, thank you all so much. I know there's plenty of people live right now, but the fact that you even came out for a minute means the world to me. So with that being said, know what you do and do what you know. Never say you want more special, because you were always born a blessing. And trust, you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Wise one thing to call yourself is another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. You have spent time with me. I have spent time with you. And hopefully by us spending time together, we will rise together to be something great together. Make sure the replay is not just worth for you to watch it, not just worth for you to listen to it, but for you to want to experience it again. I love you. I value, I embrace you all. I'll see you real soon. Good night, everybody.
I gotta tell you something I could do. I could be running or I'm chasing you, but I won't. 'Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive, live. If you hadn't run away every time I asked you stay, you would sleep right next to me tonight. And you didn't know me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my ways. About your magic and your side chicks, I'm a winner, babe. And you didn't win this, it's a part of the game. In the beginning I just didn't know that you're an enemy I held too close. Now I know, 'cause you did everything to prove me wrong. You were not the guy I thought. Now I'm beating you at your own. Yeah. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive, live. And you didn't know me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my ways. Around your mind tricks and your side chicks, I'm a winner, babe. And you didn't win this, it's a part of the game. Yeah, I beat you at your game, and if you were me, you would do the same. Man, I really love to play, and now that I won, then it's safe to say you didn't know me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my way.